Hey everyone, it's Kelsey of the Alchemist Knits podcast, because I've decided we're a podcast now. That's what we're doing. Today we are going to dive into my finished objects made with hand-spun yarn, specifically, because I have a fat stack of things that I have made for my hand-spun, and I'd just like to have it all in one place on a video, so hopefully you can be inspired. Like if you hand spin, I've got some ideas for some of the stuff is dyed. Some of it's all natural colors. So we're going to have a good mix of things. These are throughout the past probably 5 years. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to start off with socks. Then we'll move into hats, scarves, shawls. I have one top. Cardigans, and then we'll finish with sweaters because that's what I have the most of. So I'm going to tell you what the pattern is, who it's by, and then if I can remember, which I can for most of them, what fiber content all of the things are. Everything that I have here today is fiber that was processed by me, so I don't have any roving or braids that were made and dyed by somebody else. These are all, I got the fleece, I carded it, I dyed it, so the whole process from the sheep to the finished object, all of these fall under that category. So let's get started. We'll start off with socks. I have 2 pairs of hand-spun socks. I would love to change that though. The first pair I made, and this is kind of a partial, because it's not all hand-spun. So I'll show you. These are the Mushroomer socks by Minna Mitsanen. Sorry if I butchered that name. Also, I want to mention that I will link my Ravelry projects in the notes below. So that'll be an easy way for you to find the pattern itself, but I figured it would be easier to take you directly to my project page so that you can see any notes and whatnot, and then easily get to the pattern itself if you want to make these. So this is, the top part is Croy sock yarn, Croy FX I think, and then the black is like a wool nylon blend. The hand spun parts are the mushrooms themselves. So we have, and it's all dyed by me as well, so medium pink and a light pink. This is actually, the purple here is actually from a sweater I got from Goodwill and unraveled. And then, yeah, the blue and then into the purpley here. I don't know why it keeps trying to go on me. Yeah, so that is partially hand-spun sock number 1. This was some of the first stuff I ever spun as well, from some East Frisian sheep that my parents had. So that's the first pair of socks. Then we've got, these I made for my husband. There's no pattern for these. It's just a basic, the notes are in my Ravelry. It's just a basic, starts off with a 2x2 rib, then goes into a broken rib with stockinette on the bottom. This is 1 ply of baby doll with 1 ply and 1 ply of Romney spun together, and it kind of felted. I throw these in the wash and in the dryer, and they've kind of felted up a bit, but they're very sturdy. There are no holes. He's worn them a lot. So I am really happy with this combo of 1 ply of Romney and 1 ply of baby doll. It turned out a lot better than I expected. There's no nylon in these. They're stretchy because of the baby doll though. So super happy with this. I want to spin up some more of this to make some socks for myself, but these are really thick, good, like hiking socks. So those are all the socks that I have made. Let's just put them over here. And then we'll go on to hats. This should be kind of fast, because like this is Dorset, 100% Dorset. It's 1x1 rib with a 2x2 rib at the bottom. Super basic beanie. Oh, wow, I forgot one of my pairs of socks. I just finished these. So we had 3 pairs of socks. Sorry, let's hop back to these. This is the Casual Lace Socks by Isabel Kramer. I knit it for the 52 months of socks knit along. Let's just show one. It's not going to fit in the hole. These are knee highs for me. So it's got, can we see the design? It's got kind of a lacy design on it. Hopefully you can see that. This is 100% Dorset. I have not worn these yet at all. I think I finished them last month and I just haven't worn them. But yeah, they've got some Tweety bits in there, which is a lot of fun. Some little white flecks. So that's pretty cool. It's really fun. It's got some like silvery and browny and all kinds of things in it. So that's my last pair of socks, I swear. This is the Dustlin hat by Stephen West. This has got a variety of things in it. So it's got some Dorset, some alpaca, some Angora, and then it's dyed. So I think if I remember right, I dyed the wool before I spun it. And then just carded it all together, made this. This is probably my favorite hat pattern of all time. I have made so many of these hats. It's super basic pattern, but it's just so like gender neutral. It looks good on anybody, everybody, and it's fun to make because it's just these sections of patterns. And this came out like years ago, 10, 15 years ago, and I love it. So there's that one. And then we've got the, what is this one called? The Harlow Flip Hat, which I did this one for a knit along this year. It's by Andrea Mowry, and I believe the pattern came out this year because we did a knit along this year. I hopped in for that pretty last minute. And so the cool thing about this one is that it's meant to be flipped up. So it's brioche, and you can see it's reversed. So we've got, you can fold it this way, and look at that, it matches. You can put it inside out and fold it up, and it looks like that. So really, really fun pattern. I've made 2 of these hats. This is CVM, which is California Variegated Mutant. That's the name of the sheep. And it's a mix of a bunch of different things that I forget. But I had a fleece, a single fleece that had both of these colors in it. So I separated out the light and the dark and spun them up separately years ago, probably like 5 or 6 years ago, and then just finally made this hat with it. And it is so soft. This is one of the softest yarns I've ever made. CVM is so soft and so bouncy. I've got one other CVM thing I've made that you'll see later on. It's a sweater, and it is so soft. It'll actually match this hat, so let's hold on to this one for a second, actually, and we can pull it out, and you can see, be like, hey, wait a second, I know that yarn. So this is second to last hat. This is an experiment. I saw some stuff on Pinterest. I saw these kinds of hats where it's like, oh, a slouchy beanie, and then it's got like this stuff here, and it's got like a really deep, I'm trying not to mess with my earbuds too much. It's got this split in the back so that it kind of just around. So there's no pattern for this. It was just, I knit flat in a 1x1 rib for the bottom part here, and then joined in the round, as you can see right here, and did stockinette, did a basic decrease, and then I put these tassels on. It's ribbon and the leftover yarn, because I had seen something like that on Pinterest and thought adding the ribbon was a cool idea. Do not look at that end, I haven't woven in. So the yarn for this was a bit of an experiment. It is a single ply. So a single ply, bulky weight of a mix of alpaca, Angora, some type of wool. I can't remember what type of wool it was, but kind of a luxury blend. It's, while it is stretchy, it's also very drapey and kind of heavy, and I think that's from the alpaca and the Angora, and it's definitely got a halo to it. But I was just experimenting with a bulky one ply, and you can see there's variegation in the color. There's black from the alpaca, there's white, a lot of white from the Angora. So yeah, this was just a fun, oh yeah, that's what the, let's see here, let's see if we can, yeah. So just a single ply of stuff. Really soft, really nice. Okay, so this is the last hat we have. This was for a test knit that I did, and this is called the Melisma hat by Amy Vanderlaar. So we've got this really fun, cabley looking, yeah, there you go. They're supposed to go in towards each other, yeah. And it's got that all the way around. It's got a nice pretty crown, decreases nicely. I forget what this was. Oh, here we go. Thank goodness I have notes over here. I have my laptop up with the notes because sometimes I mix up fibers and I don't remember what it was. So this is a 2-ply yarn from East Frisian, Jacob, Corriedale, and a smattering of Columbia. Very nice. So 4 different things in one yarn, and then I dyed it green. And you can see it's got little flecks of all different kinds of green, bright green, dark green. And that's because the yarn itself, it had white and browns in it when I spun it up, so it wasn't a solid white yarn when I dyed it. That's why it has this variation. And then I made the matching scarf, the Melisma scarf by Amy Vanderlaar, and it has the same design. Okay, let me get my face out of the way. And this is nice. It's pretty long. I don't know if I could wrap it around once or not. I think it's more of just a statement. You drape it and you have it over your big coat, and it has this really fun fringe. Woo! Everybody loves some fringe. I love fringe. It gets in the way, but I love the way it looks. And then we have this brown yarn here. I think it was just because I was running out of, I needed more for the fringe, and I completely ran out of this yarn. Like, I used the last of it on the fringe, and then I didn't have enough. So that's the matching scarf and hat, the Melisma scarf and hat. And we had one more hat hiding under there. This one's a quick one. This is another Dustlin hat. This is Baby Doll Southdown, Jimmy Buffett specifically. That's the name of the ram, and I've gotten his fleece every year. This is my 5th year. So I've gotten his fleece every year for 5 years straight now, and you will be seeing him again later on. But this is him mixed with some Sari Silk. Just a fun 2-ply. Dustlin hat by Stephen West. You know it, you love it. I've given away a bunch of those types of hats, so I don't have many of them left around my house. And then that is all the hats. We have a bit of a segue. So we have this hood. I don't know if I'm gonna try putting it. Okay, I'll just show you first. So we have this hood. It's got this long little tassel, and it's got those little tassels, and it's like that, and it's got little leaf designs and little antlers, and I've got better pictures of it. We're gonna try putting it on. Oh no, this looks terrible. Oh no. I should definitely wear this fall. Isn't that cute? This is just an absolute abomination mixture of fibers. Abomination sounds bad, but I'm saying abomination in a very good way. As in, like, we've got, I think this is Baby Doll Southdown. I think this is another Baby Doll Southdown. We've got this green yarn that I don't even know what this is. We've got some from this sheep called Espresso. That was her name, that they got from the auction. Nobody knows what kind of sheep she was, but I love her wool. It's super rustic, white and brown. Yeah, and then just bits and pieces of whatever I had around. I think this is Angora here, this white stuff. Like, it's got, I think this brown part is llama here. So it's got a little bit of everything in it. I think this brown part might be Colombian. It's got that charcoal-y kind of look to it. So this is a really fun one. I really enjoyed the test for this project. And the fact that I could use 100% hand spun for it was really cool. So we are done with that. Let's move into scarves. I think I only have one. I'm about to knock everything over. This one is, there's no pattern for it. I just did I started off with a triangle, did a lot of rhombuses. Ew, that's the wrong side. Nobody wants to see that side. Everybody wants to see this side. Look at those giant tassels. So this one, let's pull it up real quick because there is a bunch of stuff in here. It's all bulky weight. We've got Espresso here, that sheep I talked about. We've got, who is this? This is a mix of things. I see some, looks like silk or something in here. We've got some Shetland. We've got, here's Jimmy Buffett, the baby doll. We got more Espresso, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so yeah, I guess I just did repeats, yeah, of everybody. So it's got, oh, Espresso's a Dorset cross. That's right, her dad was a Dorset, and her mom was the one who came from the auction. That's right. And then we've got a Shetland cross. We got the Baby Doll Southdown, the dark one there. We've got Rambouillet, Black Alpaca, and Angora. Oh, so I guess that's what this one is, the mixed one. The white blips in there are Angora from my bunny I used to have named Mr. Gibbs. He was an albino Angora rabbit. Very, very floofy and very friendly. I loved that rabbit. And then we've got, for fun, we've got tassels on the bottom. So this is a big, like, wrap scarf kind of thing. Very rustic. This is, I would not describe this as soft. This is not a soft, but it is very rustic and it'll keep you very warm in the winter. It already feels itchy. It's beautiful. I love it. So what do we have next? We have finished. Okay, so we finished the scarves. We're going to move on to shawls. I think I only have 2 hand spun shawls, and it's the same pattern. So this is the Humlebee by Fiber Tales. And I think Humlebee is Danish for bumblebee. And you can see it's got little bumblebees. Can you see the little bumblebees? And it's just a big old shawl with the cutest little bumblebees on it, with the cutest little wings. And this is Colombian wool, 100% Colombian wool. That's the name of the sheep. It's just Columbia sheep. In this really pretty, like, charcoal-y kind of color. It looks brown here, but the lighting in here is a bit yellow. So this is more of a charcoal kind of color. But I really like this one because it is so long, so wide. And so it's really easy, like, this is wider than I am tall, because this here is just to the middle spine. And I'm almost all the way outstretched. So I love it because I can easily wrap it around and the ends come down and it doesn't fall off. because that's a problem I have with like very triangle shaped ones, is that sometimes the ends don't sit right and it kind of rip off. This one, not a problem with that, not at all. So absolutely beautiful. I made another one of these out of, it's a Dorset alpaca mix, super soft. And it came out like this light fawn kind of color because of the alpaca, and the Dorset was white. I ended up giving it to my little sister because it just works for her, and I can't wear alpaca because it's too prickly for me. But it was the same pattern. So I've actually made this pattern 3 times. This one, that one that was a hand spun that I gave to my sister, and then this one also the same thing, out of Shetland. And this is from a local lady that I met while I was doing a spinning demonstration, and she came up and she's like, I have always wanted, sorry, my earbuds are falling out. I have always wanted to learn how to process the fiber from my 4 little Shetland sheep. And so we talked, and I went over to her house and I taught her how to wash the wool, and she gifted me a bunch of fleeces from past years from her 4 little sheep. And this is one of her sheep, a 2-ply, spun it up and made. I added this extra little section here just to keep things interesting. And this one has fringe, because like I told you before, I love fringe. Look at that, look at that. That's just fun. And I love the natural color of this. It's just beautiful. My hair is being all kinds of nonsense today and getting in my eyes. Let's take a second. Let's compose ourselves with some chai, iced chai, but there's no more ice. Delicious. Okay, so that's everything with shawls. Let's move on to, I have one top that I have made. Let's see if we can find it real quick. Yes, okay. This one was quite a bit of a spin. I was spinning specifically for this project. So let me show you real quick. This is, and you can see how sheer it is too. So this is like a top, like an A-line, tunic-y, not quite a dress, but almost. You wear it with leggings underneath, kind of top. So this is the Cloud Bow by Reed Keys, and I got it in, it's Pom Pom Quarterly issue 40. I bought that issue almost as soon as it came out because of this pattern. I saw it and I was just like, yeah, I want to make that. I don't know what it was that drew me to it, but I'm like, I need to make that. So I spun up, I bought the issue, and then I started spinning. Oh, there's one of my Bashirs. They're doing absolute nonsense. So I immediately started spinning for this project. So this is, I called it Cloud Bow yarn in Ravelry. Okay, so this is like a heavy fingering light sport weight. So it's fin, mohair, alpaca, angora, and pigora, which is a pygmy angora cross. So you've got your regular angora fiber, you mix it with a tiny goat, you get a tiny fiber goat. So I bought a bunch of it from a lady some years ago, and I put it in here. And you might be like, oh, I thought you said that alpaca and mohair don't work for you and they're too itchy. And you would be right. I have to wear something under this when I wear it. But it's beautiful. I spun it up. I over-dyed it with gray so it would be more cool toned. But you can see the black spots in here are the alpaca because I used black alpaca again. The white spots are probably going to be more angora. And yeah, so it's kind of it's a drapier one because all of those things are very drapey. It doesn't have like that bounce to it like some of those hats I showed you. This is a very drapey yarn, so very weighty. I love this. I think it could be fun to put elastic in the waist because it doesn't quite cinch in like I would like it to. But I love the way that this turned out. I'm really happy with it. This is definitely something I'd be willing to make again. So there's that, the cloud bow. And then we'll move on to cardigans, I think, next. So we'll start with this. Why are they so far over here? We'll start off with this tiny guy. This was a test knit that I did for somebody. This was obviously not the test knit. This was, I tried to make a kid's version sort of thing after the test was all over and I gave my feedback. I spun up this yarn and it's a really cool pattern. It reminds me of those like crochet hexagon cardigans because it starts from the armpit and then radiates outwards in this really pretty flower shape, and then, you know, you attach them together and you add the collar, you add the sleeves. So a really fun pattern. What was it called? The Dahlia Bloom Cardi by Olya Mikesh. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not happy with how this turned out. Like, and it's, the designer did an amazing job. This was my alteration to the pattern, and the alteration did not work out, is what happened. So, like, not, the arms look weird, and, like, I've already blocked it, and it still just looks lumpy. And I pretty much just knit this until I ran out of yarn. That's how I determined the size for it. And the yarn itself is really, really pretty. I think it's just a Dorset, probably, with a bunch of sari silk in it. Really, really pretty. And then this is Dorset with a lot less silk in it. So I think what I might do is I might take this out and I might just make a scarf. A fun scarf with, maybe I'll use this stuff that doesn't have as much of the sari silk in it. Maybe I'll use that as the fringe. Go wild. So I think I'm going to take this one out and just do a basic scarf or something and let the yarn really shine. Because it's a pretty yarn. I love the yarn for it. It's beautiful. So that's the first little cardigan. And then we've got, oh, let's do this one. We've got the Nola. That's what the pattern is called, just Nola. But it's a cardigan. And, oh, what is this? Dorset. The brown is Dorset. Okay, let me show it to you first. So it's the Nola by Yamagari Knits. And it's a cropped, and it's got big sleeves. And let me show you the design on the sleeves. It's intarsia on the sleeves. It's really, really fun. I love the pattern. Really pretty. There's the sleeve. And then it's got like a split in the sleeve. So it kind of just sort of, it does fun stuff. Like when you're wearing it. And I really like the yarn that I used for it. Man, I should wear this. It's giving very like 70s vibes. It's kind of heavier. It's a bit of a gradient. So the way that I dyed up this yarn was I had one strand of the Dorset, which is the dark brown. And then I did one strand of, I think it just might be Dorset. I'm pretty sure. So I did a strand of brown, and then I did like a gradient with the lighter colored one. So I carded up colors in like a gradient pattern and then it just spun along that gradient. So it goes from pink to purple to blue to green at the very bottom. And then I realized that I did not have enough yarn. Can't really see it too well, but I didn't have enough yarn for the bottom. And I also had this, this is probably an alpaca Dorset mix, so it has a little bit of a halo, looks a little fuzzy, a little fluffy. really pretty, really soft. And so I used that for the bottom ribbing on this one. It's a lot of fun. I probably need... I did this weird thing because I was running out of yarn where I came down along here and we're increasing here so that it meets, so it's like a V-neck. Excuse me. And then for some reason, I think because I thought I was running out of yarn, I decreased back out, so it's got this sort of thing here. So maybe if I put a button here, I don't know. It's a bit strange. I kind of wish that I hadn't decreased down here. I wish I had just gone straight and made it just a tiny bit shorter and just dealt with it. But I do love the design, and yeah, isn't that fun? It's just got a little open sleeves and need weave-in ends. It's very fun. Very kind of like 70s, but also like Japanese-ish. It's a cool one. So yeah, Dorset, and then there's some alpaca in the pink. For not being able to wear alpaca, I sure do wear quite a bit of alpaca, but with stuff underneath it so it's not so itchy scratchy. That was a little bit itchy on my arm. So that's all right because it's meant to be worn in the winter where I have something underneath it anyways. And then we have got, I think this is the last cardigan probably. And then we get to move on to sweaters. I can feel the prickle through my pants. That is okay. Okay, so what is this? I did not write down what this one was called. Like an absolute fool. But fortunately, I don't have a crazy... Oh, Golden Acre cardigan. That's what this one's called. Okay, so let's actually show it real quick. We have the cool fancy hanger. Because this is a bit of a beast. This one's a large one. The Golden Acre cardigan. Let's show you the back because that's the real... Look at that. It's got twisted rib. Everybody loves some good twisted rib. I really like having the light in the back so that you can see through. It's like I did that on purpose or something. And then we've got, what is this? We have kind of a lacy design on the arms. What is this here? A fun little, you can't see it super well. That's all right. Can we hang it here? Excuse me. Nope, that looks terrible. Okay, that's fine. That's all right. I'm just gonna hold on to it. It's got this pretty shawl collar too. I really like that. Bada bing, bada boom. Golden Acre cardigan by Little Theorem Knits. I've done a few test knits for her. I think this was the first one I did, and the only one I did, I'm pretty sure, with 100% hand spun. So she put out, how dare you, she put out the testing call for this one, and I looked at it and I'm like, yes, I absolutely want to make that, and I do not have the yarn for it. Do you mind if I real quick spin up an entire cardigan's worth of yarn? And she's like, that sounds great. The deadline is this time. And I'm like, sounds good. I could totally meet that. And I did. Like, I got it done in plenty of time. So I spun up an entire cardigan's worth at the start of the test knit and spun it all up and then dyed it and then knit it all before the test ended. So this is a combination of a Romney cross. His name is Boo Radley from To Kill a Mockingbird, and some black and fawn alpacas. So it's got some black alpaca, some fawn alpaca in it. And then I dyed it, and then I knit it. And this did not come out as soft as other, like a Dorset alpaca is very fluffy and lofty and soft. And a Romney alpaca is like, maybe it's also because it's a 3-ply and because it's very tightly spun. It's really pretty though. Oh, that's right, because I wanted to have really good stitch definition. Um, let's look at the actual, yeah, it is a 3-ply. And, oh, that's right, I did. Oh my goodness, yes. So this one was a 3-ply. I can't call it a gradient, but it was, each ply was a different color. So I had all white Romney, and then one ply was with the black, one ply was with the fawn, and then one ply was both black and fawn alpaca. And so that colored each ply differently, and that's how we get this depth, this heathering, excuse me, this heathering look in the yarn itself. And I remember this spin because I finished up watching the 3rd season of Penny Dreadful. This show took me like 3 or 4 years to get through. I'd watch a little bit and then have to stop because it's a pretty heavy show. There's a lot to it. But so yeah, I remember I finally finished up that entire show while plying this yarn. Good memories. There are a lot of good memories in this cardigan. I wish it wasn't so itchy because of all the alpaca. But I can probably wear it in the winter. It's very heavy. It feels like a winter coat. It is a heavy project. But very good memories. I kind of wanna wear it this year. I'll just wear a turtleneck, long sleeve, and thick pants under it vibes. And it'll be great. It'll be fine. I can't believe I forgot about that yarn. I loved spinning that yarn. Okay, now let's move on to sweaters. I think that's all we have left is sweaters. So let's go back to, yeah, my Handspun. And let's look at, what do we want to do first? The very first? Let's start with the very first. This is the very first thing that I spun. I got an antique spinning wheel, and this was my first big spin. This is 100% Dorset, I want to say. Yes. 100% Dorset wool. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That is beautiful. Do we want a man? Okay, sorry. So this was it's 7 o'clock. The lights just turned off for the fish tank. How embarrassing. How are you ever going to see through the details again? It's fine. So this is 100% Dorset that I went crazy on the dyeing. I dyed all kinds of colors, the wool. I just took chunks of it, and I kettle dyed some. I think I kettle dyed all of it. And then I broke it up into light colors. I spun it in a gradient, 2-ply, on my antique spinning wheel. And I just made yarn. I just spun and spun and spun and spun. And yeah, I held on to that yarn for a good couple of years. I didn't know what to make with it because I was like, it's just a bunch of gradient yarn. It's really pretty. I need to make just the right thing. So I made, this is the Chunky Dahlia by Lynette. Why is my nose stuffy? Anyway, so really, really pretty leaf motif. Like, yeah, the yoke is the, don't look at that. Weaving in ends. Who does that? The yoke is really the main part, the main showstopper of this. The rest is just stockinette. But yeah, wow, what a first sweater to make. This is ridiculous. I love it. It's nice and sturdy. It's kind of, it's not the softest. It's not like CVM levels of soft, but like, yeah, I could wear this without a shirt underneath and it would be fine. So yeah, this is the beginning, really, of my sweater spinning journey. My first big big spin. So there's that one. And then we've got, yeah, I'll save that one for a second. Oh, I forgot my other cardigan. Okay, we'll hop back real quick and let's talk about this cardigan. This cardigan is, let's see, do we have it in here? Okay. I call this one Sisterhood of the Traveling Cardie because, okay, well, first of all, this is the Big Cozy Cardie by Andrea Mowry. It's like a cocoon type sweater, super basic design. Can we hold up the whole thing? It's really oversized and drapey and just sort of like a big blanket. So cocoon, you add the sleeves, you add the I cannot think of the words today. Neckband. I love this one. It's literally just a blanket with sleeves. It's shapeless. It just exists, you know? So, this was a Christmas project of, for Christmas one year, when was it? Was it in 2022, so 3 years ago, I spun up a Big Cozy Cardie's quantity of wool for all of my sisters. I have 3 sisters, and we all know how to knit and crochet. Some prefer knitting more, some prefer crocheting more. But I spun up enough fiber for all of us to make this Big Cozy Cardie together, because I think it had just come out that year. And we're all about those cozy vibes. So this, thank you. Low power, hold on a second. Is this thing even charging? Anyways, maybe we should wrap this up. It is charging, but I guess it's dying. Who knows? This is, did I write down what the wool was? This was a mix of all kinds of stuff. And so, yeah, I gave that to them and, you know, gifted them each a copy of the pattern. And we all made, well, I don't know if everybody finished theirs, but we all started it at least. That Christmas get-together, we all started our Big Cozy Cardies and we're knitting on it. I think this is the one. Okay, so what do we have in here? Okay, this is 25% BFL, which is blue-faced Leicester. That's a type of sheep. And then 25% Dorset, 25% alpaca, and 25% baby doll Southdown. So this has Jimmy Buffett in it. That's right, that's right. Okay. So the Dorset, I think, was from somebody else. The alpaca I bought from someone else. The BFL was from one of my parents' sheep, and then the baby doll Southdown was Jimmy Buffett. So it was a bit of a feel-goodsy spin. Is there a cat in here? What are you doing? Sometimes she just needs some love. We are babysitting some cats for a friend of ours. Oh my goodness. What a chunk. This is Willow. She's beautiful. She's a little model cat. And she's so soft. And she has the biggest, poofiest tail. Let's see if we can see it. Look at that big poofy tail. She doesn't want that. Anyway, so that's what this is made out of. It's a little bit tweedy, a little bit, yes, look at the cat. Don't look at me, just look at her. She's beautiful. All right. And then the neckband part of this is 100% alpaca spun by some ladies in Peru. I bought it off of Etsy, and they hand spin it. And it's really soft. For some reason, this alpaca to me is not itchy like the alpacas that I spin with. So I don't know what the secret is. This is, maybe it's baby. I think it's baby alpaca, like Kriya stuff. So one change I did make to the pattern is that I think it's supposed to be stockinette across here, and I did seed stitch. So it wouldn't roll because I didn't want the edges to roll like it does in the pattern. I wanted it to be kind of flat and just sort of drape and be soft and light and fluffy. So that's this one. And I like it. I just wore it the other day. It was like 50 degrees outside in the morning. And so I threw this on over whatever I was wearing and went outside with my drink and my knitting, and I cast on a pair of socks for the 52 months of socks knit along that I sometimes hop in with. And it was lovely. This is perfect for like just barely chilly mornings because it's a cardigan and it's open and the sleeves only like come down to here and you can just kind of it all over yourself. It's like a glorified shawl. But I love this one. I wore it so much last year. I've worn it so much every cold season. Beautiful. Okay, so that's the last cardigan. And then we've got, what do we want to do next? Let's go back to some color. Ew, what are we doing here? Don't do that. Let's go back to my projects. Well, let's go back to Handspun, shall we? Okay, and hopefully it pops up in here. I know the name of this sweater, but it is not showing up in my Handspun. So it is called the Yoon sweater, E-U-N. The Yoon sweater by Anne Fiskum Sund. And I love this one. I wore this one a number of times. This is a very similar vibe to my first sweater where I dyed it in a gradient. Pretty much the same gradient, green to blue to purple to pink. You know, I love it. The fun thing about this sweater is that it has a deep split hem with ribbing. And I love that. I love wearing it with leggings. And then this ribbing part covers the bits. But it's got the open sides. So because I have wide hips, and so I don't necessarily want like tight fitting things on my hips. So it's kind of nice to just have that free open oversized kind of thing. So this is, I already said what that is. I did not say what the yarn was. Ooh. I feel like it's probably a Dorset. I know it has some alpaca in it, and I know it has glittery stuff in it. You can see the sparkle, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, this is another really, really fun one. Just because of the color and because of the split hems. I wore it quite a bit last year. So there's that. I think there's like dust or something in these sweaters because it's making my nose clog up. Maybe it's the alpaca. Oh, here's a cute little cowl. This is the Shetland mix we had. Her name was Sarah. Very, very, very rustic. This is like Lopey type feeling wool. Like it'll definitely keep you warm, but it is rustic, as they say. It's just a brioche. She had a very oatmeal-y kind of fleece. I just made a little cowl with something. And then let's move on to, this was Tour de Fleece. Oh, was it? No, move forward, please. Thank you. Handspun. If I could spell. Okay. This was another test knit that I did for somebody. It was in 2022, that's right. So this is the Britannia sweater by Astrid Augustsson. Yep. Look at this. Look at that. I made it for my husband. It's just a drop shoulder with nice stockinette sleeves. Got this really cool pattern on the front. I think I tried to over dye it, so it has this big spot on the back. Just stockinette on the back. The front's really the main part of it. So this is, oh, this was out of CVM. Wow. This is, oh, okay. This is from a local CVM. So I went to a shearing day at Skybrook Farm. That's like 30 minutes south of me, maybe. So they had this big shearing day, and I went there to like learn how to properly skirt a fleece and what to look for in a fleece and all that stuff. I had a bunch of questions. And so I got to just jump in and help with the skirting of the fleeces as they were shearing the sheep. And I ended up buying a CVM fleece from one of their sheep. Her name was Cleo. Hold on a second, I am dying. My mouth just gets so dry when you talk so much. So I got to like meet the sheep. I got to see her be sheared, and then I got to take the fleece home. So this is 100%, it was a white ewe. And then I spun it all up, natural colored, and then I over dyed the yarn, and then I knitted up, and then I tried over dyeing it again, I think to make it a little bit like more foresty green, because my husband loves like hunter ranger type colors. So greens and browns and grays and blacks. So I tried to over dye it, I think, with some black, and it made this spot on the back, but that's okay. You don't really look at that too much, but look at this. This was a really fun one, and I wear it all the time, actually. I don't think he's ever worn it. I like to wear it with leggings underneath because it's nice and oversized and it comes down far enough to look like cute, like boyfriend sweater kind of stuff. So there's that one. I had completely forgotten I had gotten that whole fleece from that farm. What fun memories. That's why I love looking back through these things, because I'm like, oh, I remember that sheep. I remember spinning this. So there's that one. And then I think all the rest are very like natural colored ones. I've already shown you all the dyed fleece ones that I've done. So next we have, the next two are going to be Jimmy Buffett. This is, I spun up, oh, I don't remember the name of this one. Oh, what is it called? Lady Lovelace Cropped Sweater by Kristen Jones. So this has got such a fun, if you can't tell, I love leaf motifs. It's shown up a lot. So this is just like a cropped sweater, and like you leave the bottom with just the design, and it kind of, it does this very like woo kind of thing, and then it's just got stockinette sleeves, a little bit of a balloon. I do like that, a balloon sleeve at the end. Yeah, this was a very bulky weight. I spun up the first time around, I spun it up very bulky. So I was trying to find a sweater that would work for that, but I didn't have enough for like a big full sweater, so I made a fitted crop sweater. So yeah, this is Jimmy Buffett. I told you you'd see him again. And you're gonna see him again. This is another one that I bought. Okay, I know what the name of it is, but I don't remember who it's by. Okay. This is a fun one because it's a mix of crochet and knit. So this is Prairie Skies. Look at that. Prairie Skies by Imka von Nathusius. I hope that's right. It was part of the Pom Pom Quarterly issue 46, which has a number of patterns that I fell in love with. This was the very first one that drew me in, the very first one that I made from that issue. But that issue was filled with such beautiful patterns. So this is Here we go. I actually originally spun this. I'm seeing this now. This was originally for the big comfy cardi. And then I spun up the other one and made that instead, and I had this left over. It is just so pretty. So you make, the yoke is just all these granny squares, and then you pick up around the edges of the granny squares and you do, was it some, it's probably some short row stuff going on. I can't remember. And then, yeah, I did like just kind of a big open, I didn't bring in the cuff or anything. I just left it straight like that. I think I probably made this right after I made the Yoon sweater, where I did the same thing where it's just like the big open ribbed. Because I also did, I added a split hem to it because I loved that from the Yoon sweater so much. This is just beautiful. I love this sweater, and I do not wear it as much as I should, so I'm going to wear it a lot more this winter. But yeah, this is 100% Baby Doll South Down from Jimmy Buffett. It's just beautiful. I love it. And like, what a way to showcase in a natural color where it's just like a boring black, a boring brown. This is definitely brown. Like, look at that. It's beautiful. It's got a little bit of a V-neck going on. And then this is the last one that I'm going to show, because I'm not going to show that one. I have an entire video on that one. So this is the last one. This is probably my most worn sweater, is The Weekender by Andrea Mowry. And this, you might recognize, let's see. This one was kind of a gradient too that I did because I was kind of splitting up. It was a variegated fleece, and so I was splitting up the different colors and making a bit of a natural gradient. So CVM, you could see I took the lightest and the darkest of it to make the hat that was left over from this sweater. So we've got, yeah, kind of a dark to light thing going on. Nice, cool, fun sleeves that just sort of the same width there. This one is so soft and so oversized. I like wearing it with like a sports bra, like a racerback one that's got kind of thick straps. And because it's got the boat neck, it sort of shows that, and it looks just kind of sporty. And I really, it's a very basic, like, it's a very square sweater. It's very like cozy, oversized, not quite off the shoulder, but boat neck. It's got this one little line down the front. I can't remember which is the front and which is the back. I don't know if it matters. It's got a teeny tiny little split. Oh, that's how you tell. A teeny tiny split hem, and you can see the front here is a bit shorter than the back. That's how you tell. I should put a tag in it. But I love it, and it's reverse. I love the way that this turned out in reverse stockinette because it looks so pebbly. Like, I can show you the inside. Yeah, I mean, the inside's pretty too. But, like, for this one specifically, because it was so, it had a lot of little, like, neps and bobbly bits in it, and so it just kind of gives it character to the whole sweater. And it's so soft. I think it's the softest sweater I've ever made. So that is everything. That is all the hand spun that I could find around the house of things that I've made through the years, probably in the past 5 years, I would say, maybe. I don't know if that first gradient sweater might have been earlier than that. I don't know. But that's everything. So, yeah, there's all the stuff that I've made out of hand spun. There's a variety of things. So I will have all of the patterns, not the patterns, but I will have all my project pages linked to in the description notes. and then it'll have the name of the pattern in my Ravelry project. So if you want to make this too, then you can go check that out. And it'll also have, some of them I have linked to the yarn, because there's a handspun section in Ravelry, and so you can go and see how I spun it up, and you can see how many plies it is, you can see what weight it turned out, you can see what I used in it. All of these are carded. I don't think a single one's combed, so it's all carded on my drum carder, and then it might be 2-ply, 3-ply. I'll tell you what percentages for most of the things of stuff that I combined. So yeah, hopefully you can get some cool ideas for what to do with your hand spun yarn if you do a lot of like woolen spun type stuff. So I think we will end things here. Thank you so much for joining me, and I guess I'll see ya.